Hello and welcome to the Female Founder Friday podcast with me, Lindsay White. I'm passionate about helping female entrepreneurs be great leaders, build high-performing teams, and create inspiring workplace cultures through innovative talent programs and practices. Because when people feel like they belong at work, they deliver their very best and businesses thrive. The Female Founder Friday podcast is all about connecting with the most incredible female entrepreneurs to talk about their journey to creating their own business, the mistakes they've made along the way, and how they view their own leadership. And I'm challenging all of my guests this season to take my leadership style quiz, and during each episode, we'll be digging into their leadership style and how it impacts the way they lead in their life and their business. And if you're interested in learning more about your leadership style and want some of my top tips to help you lead more effectively, you can take the quiz right now. Just check out the show notes or head over to highvoltageleadership.ca and click on the button at the top of the page that says Take the Quiz. Then you can share your results, connect with my guests, and join the conversation on Instagram by following me at 𝐏𝐼VoltLeadership. My guest on this week's episode is Dr. Patricia Petralba, the founder of Thrive Life Center. Dr. Patricia is a doctor of integrated medicine, and she's super passionate about combining natural and holistic practices with cutting-edge conventional medicine to really help women find meaning, live with purpose, and really be healthier so they can truly thrive in every aspect of their life. And it's Dr. Patricia's own journey of self-discovery that really fueled her passion to create an integrated health practice. And she is just so dedicated and so incredibly moved in all the work that she does that you're going to leave today's conversation feeling motivated, refreshed, and beautifully peaceful, just the way I did. I'll know you'll love today's episode. Welcome, Dr. Patricia. I am so glad to have you here on the podcast this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yes. Hi, Lindsay. I'm so excited to be here on your podcast. I've been meaning to speak with you and just have a conversation about being a high voltage leader.
Awesome. I love that. I love that. And Dr. Patricia and I, we met in a women's networking group, and we just hit it off right away. And what she does and why she does it is just so amazing. And I knew from being a part of this group together that you just had an incredible story. You've had an incredible journey. And that's why I really wanted to have you as a guest on the show, just to talk about that a little bit. So tell us, what's been your journey to being a female founder?
It's a long one. I wish it was a quicker one. So I'm an integrative doctor, which means I combine East, West, and all the other fun stuff of spirituality and finding meaning and purpose when you do your healing work. I founded Thrive Life Center, which is an integrative medicine wellness center here in Tucson, and I'm also a life coach to women. But what got me there was, my own personal healing journey, which really started way back when I was in high school. I, I wasn't aware how depressed I was.
Yeah.
Until I was hearing the stories of my patients, until I studied integrative psychiatry. And then, fast forward in medicine school, I've always been like a scientist. I like to experiment. I love to observe. I like to embody. And in med school, we focus on not so much on root cause of why are you feeling the things that you're feeling. Got totally burnt out. Migraines every day, hormonal fluctuation with PMS. So here I am studying medicine, and yet my health was declining. And I graduate medicine not really feeling like I had the answers. I knew how to prescribe prescriptions.
Yeah.
I knew how to order an MRI. And so it felt lacking. And then I land on integrative medicine. Fast forward, graduated, being mentored by the top leaders in the world. Um, and I wanted to serve everyone. You know how it is with people who's in service-based industry.
Yeah.
Serve everyone. Our
Yeah.
heart is in service. And so I was thinking, where is this needed? And so I wanted to do like primary care with the holistic flair and
Yeah.
integrative practice. But working with insurance didn't really give us time to unpack the root cause. I was in this revolving door.
Yeah.
Like the 15 minutes does not take care of the why.
Yeah.
So as much as I wanted to like serve everyone, I knew I really needed to step out and
Yeah.
create my own. And finally founded, Thrive Life Center, which is really based on the philosophy of root cause and beyond survival mode and really thriving in all areas of your life. But what really pushed me, because I had this idea already, I had this calling, I have the skills already,
Yeah.
I'm doing, but I got pregnant,
Mm.
became a mother, and my baby. So this was kind of the divine synchronicity. I had the idea, but I was just scared to be on my own.
Yeah.
I was scared to be founding a practice where I had zero business skills.
Yeah.
But when I got pregnant, I gave birth, and my baby didn't want to bottle feed.
Ah.
So I was forced to, like, I can't make her take the bottle. So
Yeah.
that was the first, like, I just can't, it's not in alignment with my values to force things,
No.
and then I was cared for these doula, these
Yeah.
very holistic women, and I'm like, how they took care of me is how I want to take care of people, like that time, that
Yeah.
customization, that heart-centeredness versus the speed.
Yeah.
I was like, get you quick out, get you bouncing and back to work. And anyway, so that was like the the main driving force of like I can't um have I can't take care of my patients the same way I used to when I know we deserve better.
I love that.
Yeah,
I really, I mean, I know that you have just a really true, deep, innate curiosity. You want to
right,
get underneath. You want to understand. You want to
yeah,
get, like you said a couple times, that root cause. Like,
right,
what is really at the heart of this?
right. Yes,
But I love that it is in, experiencing that beautiful level of care, that it clearly shifted things for you.
yes. It gave me the courage and almost like an excuse to quit corporate medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that though. I mean, I work with female founders all the time. And, one of the places I always start with them is really, what are your values? What are the
Mm-hmm.
things that are the most important to you? Because when you can bring those into your life every day, when you can live them in what you do and who you are, wow, like the magic happens. You
Exactly.
feel incredible energy and it fuels your passion. And, that's where we really get resonance from, isn't it?
Right.
I love
Ye-
that. I love
Yes.
that.
And I remember you saying something about like balance is, did you say bull? Something like that.
Yeah.
So I completely agree. And that's why being a female founder is how, because I align with that it's not really balanced this
Yeah.
way. It's integration. It's
Yes.
finding the flow in the imbalance. Because being a female and a woman is flow and cycle. It's
Yeah.
not masculine, which is like linear and one flow.
Yeah.
We are very like dynamic, and when we get to lead as women, we have that space to be out of balance,
Yeah.
right? In a good way.
Yeah.
Like sometimes there's more time for work, there's less time for family. Sometimes there's more time for family, less time for work. But it's like we get to flow in and out, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And that's why we connect so beautifully, because you use the flow and the integration from that, that medical side, and combining the East and the West and all of those things
Yes.
into a holistic approach to
Right.
health and wellness. And
Yes.
I love to talk to female leaders about blending
Yes.
blending your work in your life, blending
Right.
who you are with how you lead.
Right.
And I love that, because we just come from that really same foundational space.
Yes. And in my world, I call it integration,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
integrate part of you that's a woman, a mother, a leader, a business owner, and
Exactly.
you
Beautiful.
know, yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And I think that that is so important. I mean, as we try to really, fulfill a number of different roles,
Mm-hmm.
because we're female founders, we're business owners, we're entrepreneurs. But
Right.
yeah, many of us are mothers, we're
Yes.
partners, we're sisters, we're
Right.
friends. Like,
Right.
we play so many different roles in our lives.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And sometimes there's not nearly enough space for ourselves, is there?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's where I come in.
Yes, exactly.
Creating space efficiently and with pleasure, for our own wellness, and how we can show up still passionately
Yeah.
versus like our libido being low
Yeah.
or our pleasure being low. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And I love that all of your own personal experiences really culminated in creating your institute. It's clearly something that you had in the back of your mind for a long time. And I think for many of us, that's true. We have this business idea, and then something happens. And often it is, I became a mother, or, there's a moment. There's a
Right.
moment, right?
It- yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love that. I love that. Now, tell me, as I mean, that's quite the journey. I'd love to hear about, where you've maybe made some mistakes or some missteps along the way, and what you've learned.
Ooh, there's I wouldn't say a ton, but I make mistakes almost every step of the way.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
and and mistakes are fuel for me.
Yeah.
It's a room to improve. But I guess my first mistake was I didn't have a good system in terms of qualifying who I really wanted to serve. Again, kind of referencing
Oh,
back to I wanted to serve
yes.
everyone.
Yes.
Like a lot of entrepreneurs deal with
Yeah.
this, like niche down. Like,
Yeah.
no, have that one person you're talking to, and but no, I want to serve everyone. So it's that like um being almost like dilute
Yeah.
who I served, and now I'm getting more clear. And of course, it still shifts. That's also the divine feminine.
Yeah.
We get to shift and change as we also change. But now I'm clear on who I love and enjoy to serve, and it still changes. So that's my first mistake. I didn't quite hone in who who she is.
Mm. That can
Mm-hmm.
be really difficult, can't it? Like you said
Yeah.
at the start there, like we have these big hearts, and we
Mm-hmm.
have all of this passion for what we do and how we can
Mm-hmm.
help. I mean, I think that's really a driving force. And so we
Right.
really do. We really want to help so many people,
Yes.
that actually kind of feels awkward to only
Right.
pick one kind of person to help.
Yes, yes. Especially like, well, not especially, but the healer archetype, no? The ones who likes to repair, to restore, to support kind of people, they can lean towards the martyr, meaning they still say yes to people who does not really energize them.
Right.
And because I feel like I'm a doctor, so I need to say yes to you because you asked for my help. But now I'm good at like, there's something off. And even if I can't articulate it, I am now more courageous saying no. Because saying no to you means I say yes to who really aligns with me and who will get the most transformation out of me. Saying no is hard. So that's my first mistake. Like I still said yes to those who didn't really feel quite right or good match.
Yeah. Okay, so that I love that. That is absolutely fabulous. No is hard. I honestly, I'm turning 46 and I still struggle with no as a complete sentence.
Mm-hmm.
That is hard for so many of us.
Right.
And to listen to our intuition, because that's an important part of being a female founder, is that we've got beautiful intuition.
Yes. So that kind of like thermometer and of our intuition, to say yes to that, to honor that.
Yeah.
And as a business owner, no, for those who are listening, most of them I assume are entrepreneurs. That no, in my experience, is also like challenging my abundance and scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
Like, well, it makes sense for the business to say yes, but at the same time, you also get into that space of embodying. Well, when you say no, you get to say yes to who really is ready to buy and ready to do the work and ready to be coached. So it's like leaning to that surrender that you are supported, no?
I love that. And I would also add, saying no to the person that isn't the right fit is actually helping them to get to the right person faster. Like you're actually doing them a service too.
Right, exactly. So when I connected with that idea, there was no guilt anymore on sending them other way, because I could already tell, again, my intuition, like, your transformation will be better with someone else. So I should not feel guilty because it's actually serving them that I also say no.
Yes. I think that is beautiful. And you're right. A lot of female entrepreneurs listen to this show, and it is a struggle to say no. I mean, the idea of turning away business can really freak you out.
Yes, absolutely.
But actually, it serves you and it serves the clients that really need to work with you.
Yes. Then you get to work with people who really you enjoy, and then you feel good. And when you feel good, that's magnetic. You just
And you do your best work with them.
Right.
Like ultimately you show up better. They get more out of the experience with you, whatever you're doing with them. They get more out of you because the alignment is there and the magic happens.
Yes.
Oh yeah, totally. I love that. And I think as hard as it is to embrace the no, we just have to keep practicing that. We just have to keep. I mean, I still do it. I'm sure you still do it. Once in a while, I say yes to something, and I'm like, oh no, that was not the right thing to do.
Yes, and that's okay. You know, like,
it happens.
You always get to change it. That's the thing, right?
Exactly. I love that. Okay, so next, Dr. Patricia and I are going to talk about her leadership style, because she's already taken my leadership style quiz. And if you want to know what your leadership style is, if you want to compare, you can go take the quiz right now. It's in the show notes. It's also on my website, highvoltageleadership.ca. There's a little button there that says take the quiz. You can do it. It takes, I don't know what, couple minutes. It's not very long. It's going to give you some insights to your leadership style. I also got some great leadership tips for you. So go check out the quiz right away. But Dr. Patricia, what was your leadership style?
And I enjoyed taking it, by the way. One,
Thank
because
you.
of the simplicity in it, and it's not as lengthy. It was just right.
Yeah.
My stronger would be like the supportive, and
Mm.
then the next would be coaching.
100%. That totally makes sense to me.
Yes.
Yeah. What's important about that style, do you think, for you?
I feel like, in the healing arts, I get to, be a facilitator, which is
Yes.
like a supporter. So I don't do the heavy lifting because, like a physical coach won't lift the weights for you.
Right.
You do the lifting, but I get to be there, witness
Yes.
you, and support you. So that's how I understand it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, and that makes perfect sense. And I know, I mean, all of your education, all of your background, all of your expertise in service of supporting your clients in their health journey, finding out
Mhm.
why, figuring it out, helping them feel better. But so that makes perfect sense to me that it's all about supporting. And I know you're a coach too.
Right.
So that totally makes sense that coaching style, bring in the curiosity, I mean, that just totally aligns with who you are.
Yes. I'm curious, what's the difference between the two, the support and the coaching?
Yeah, I mean, I think to your point, they're they're sort of very closely aligned. And in truth, as a leader, we have to use all of these four, right? There are
Mhm.
moments when we have to be directive and tell people this is what I want. There are moments
Right.
when we have to be delegating and say, hey, can I give this to you to finish? And then there's moments where we have to be supportive. We have to be able to, offer some stuff and then enable people to take what they need. And then the coaching is really about asking those great questions, being that guide, creating that space, right?
Oh,
So we have to be able to be a little bit of all four of these things depending
yes.
on what we're doing, who we're leading, how our business is growing, even in terms of our personal life, right?
Right. Right.
How we
Right.
show up for our partner and our family and our friends and our kids, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So it can be a little bit of all of those things. But, I mean, as a female founder, you're building and growing a business, you're leading a team.
Mhm.
How does that supporting slash coaching style show up as you are a founder and a CEO of your business?
Yes, so that's a great question because one of my mentors was saying, like, your staff, you should not be coaching your staff. You should be like hiring them already, like who you want them to be, something like that.
Mm.
But I still find myself, because integrative medicine to me also means we need to live with integrity, like the brand and how
Yeah.
we live and embody it should be always in alignment with what we offer. And so I still coach them, like literally before we start a meeting, we go into a meditation. I teach them like breath work, and I guess, yeah, I really coach them into
Yeah.
this like wellness lifestyle
I love that.
exercises. Yeah.
I love that. And actually, I think that's important. I mean, yes. Do you want to find people that come equipped with most of what you need? For sure. But
Mm-hmm.
always we have the opportunity to help people learn and grow and move
Right.
forward, like just as human beings, not even because they work in our business.
Yes.
And when we can provide some of that coaching, when we can be supportive, create the spaces for them to do those things, they grow our business.
Right. Yes. Yes. And what's funny, as of course, as a founder, one of my journey was to of course fire people, right?
Yeah.
And when I fired one of my staff, how it was so nice, like a good relationship, but it was just not aligning anymore. But because of how much value she got from me, from my mind body practices, she was like, can I still be part of the group? Because I really enjoy the videos, even as I transcribe our content.
I love that.
We were still like in good relationship. Just from a business standpoint, it was not working out. So that's how it shows up, like that supportive and coach inside me.
That
So I was proud of that experience. I'm like, oh, what a milestone. No, I was also like scared to fire, and I know what it means for her and her family and her finances. But again, this is me saying no and yes to better support. But still, she was feeling like, I still want to be around your space. So that was a success for me. It felt successful.
So that is 110% success.
Yes.
I think that that's beautiful. And you're absolutely right. As female founders and owners of our business, sometimes we have to make difficult people decisions.
Yes.
Right. And that does mean saying no to employees and terminating them. It means saying no to applicants. It means saying no to clients, right? Like, but I think, when you can have someone leave your business feeling respected for what they contributed, feeling valued for the work they did, feeling like they still want to be connected to you and to the team.
Yes.
And that those, they're not a bad person. It's just not the right fit.
Yes.
Then they can leave with their head held high.
Right.
You said integrity is so important to you and to your brand and to what you do. You can feel like that's in integrity with what you value most. I think that that's really important. I really, and I coach leaders all the time on, how to do some of these things. I mean, businesses change. And so we need different people at different times. And it's really hard to tell someone they don't have a job anymore.
Right. Yeah.
That's crappy.
Milestone. Yep.
Yeah. But I love the way you brought your supportive leadership style into that space. So they felt supported even as they were on their way out the door. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much. You have shared so much wonderful, beautiful stuff here today on the podcast. I am super grateful to have you as a guest and to spend some time with you.
Same here, Lindsay. I was really, and honestly, I was so looking forward to have this conversation because you know how we did those events in our network before, and I just absolutely love soaking in your energy and how you facilitate and whatnot. So thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, I love your energy too. Thank you so, so much. Well, thank you so much for tuning in today. I sure hope you enjoyed listening as much as I did hosting this conversation. And if you did enjoy today's episode, would you do me a favor? Would you give the episode a 5-star review and share it with all of your friends? I would really appreciate that. I've got a goal to impact 1,000 female founders, and with your help, we can really amplify this message. Thanks again for being a part of the show, and don't forget to connect with me and all of my guests on Instagram at High Volt Leadership. We'll see you next Friday.